Conference. Diggs, that one will be over his head and out of the back of the end zone. As we get set to go, the Maryland offense will be out there first. As we welcome you to Byrd Stadium here in College Park, I'm Beth Mowins along with Joey Galloway. Paul Carcaterra is with us as well. Different styles today. You've got the old school muscle of the Big Ten for Iowa and the speed and the playmakers today for Maryland.
Yeah, and probably the best thing Iowa can do to slow down this Maryland offense is keep their offense on the field with their running game. Tough running game between the tackles, downhill, big running backs, and that way the playmakers from Maryland don't have a chance to put these points on the board.
And an interception for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Ball pops out at the tail end of the play. But it's been a bugaboo for the quarterbacks at Maryland. And right away on the road, the Hawkeyes get the turnover. As C.J. Brown is picked off for the 5th time this year. It was Drew Ott, the defensive end, who dropped back into coverage.
And we talked about keeping this Maryland offense on the sideline. That's another way to do it. Just create these turnovers. Early, big play for this Iowa defense on the road, putting their offense in a perfect position to put points on the board early.
Ruling on the field was an intercepted pass. The previous play is under further review.
They are going to review that play. It is important to note, by the way, that Maryland has used 2 quarterbacks this year, but Caleb Rowe, the backup, the other QB, an ACL injury in practice this week. It was just announced pregame. He is out for the year, so it is Brown pretty much the whole way if he can stay healthy today. And let's see, are they looking to see if it was a fumble at the tail end of the play after the Ott interception? He's got possession there.
It's an outstanding play by a defensive end to reach up and snatch that ball out of the air. 5 yards from the quarterback is pretty impressive.
The ruling on the field is an interception. And I don't think we saw anything on this play here to change that. And the strip came well after Ott was already down on the ground, as Dion Long and Michael Dunn, the 2 Terrapins there to take down Ott.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Intercepted pass.
Big break in the early going, just underway. First play of the game for Maryland's offense, and the 9th interception this season for the Hawkeye D. And it will be Jake Rudock's turn, the junior from Weston, Florida. Weissman is the lone setback. Mark is the senior out of Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Rudock, the play-action rollout, will drop it off to one of his tight ends, Jake Doozy, to the 20-yard line and a first down. Well, Jake Rudock returned from injury last week to solidify his job as the starting quarterback as he helped the Hawkeyes put up a season-high 45 points in their win against Indiana. That included a 72-yard touchdown pass, Iowa's longest scoring play of the year. And it's Weissman again at tailback. For an Iowa offense that has been running the ball much better during Big Ten play. They'll try and go with Weissman bowling off that right side for a yard. Andre Monroe with the stop. He's up front in this 3-4 defense for Maryland.
Yeah, and they better get used to stopping this play. That is the play when you see Weissman in the game, the big running back. When he's there, it's going to be between tackles, usually off to the right side. And that's the play. If you're Maryland, if we slow down this play, this particular play, if we can stop it, force them to do something else, we'll have a chance to make them go to their 2nd or 3rd option.
Backfield. This is Damon Bullock with the catch. The stiff arm to get inside the 15 and run out of bounds at the 11-yard line by L.A. Goree, one of their inside linebackers, a pickup of 8.
And linebackers are positioned for Maryland defensively. They need to be more athletic. They need to be more active you know, in the running game and especially in the passing game. You could see that Goree was a little late getting to the flat. That's a place where they have to get there because Iowa's going to do play action passes, leaking the tight ends into the flat. It's going to be key to see if the linebackers can get out there and slow them down.
He is about an inch or so short, so 3rd and 1. Weisman and the fullback John Kenny in there together. Weisman, big hole as he lowers the shoulder inside the 5. Anthony Nixon with the stop at the 4.
It's just good blocking by the offensive line. Look at the movement up front. You can see this big offensive line, Denal, Blythe. These guys are just blowing the defensive line off the line of scrimmage for a 3rd and 1, and that's right up Weisman's alley. I mean, straight downhill, give him the ball. He's just going to hit anything in his path.
Tommy Gall, by the way, is getting the start at center today. Austin Blythe has moved over to right guard to replace Jordan Walsh. Here's Weisman with room and a touchdown. The turnover leads to 6 quick points for Iowa. Mark Weisman's 25th career touchdown. He has now tied Liddell Betts for 3rd all-time in Hawkeye history. On the kickoff, once again, over the head of Stefon Diggs, so Maryland will get it out at the 25. Their first possession, a turnover, and then a quick score for Weisman.
And watch a linebacker playing. We talked about this on the first drive, how key it is for Maryland and these linebackers to be athletic and make plays. Both guys get picked off. Weisman, easy run into the end zone. Offensive line for Maryland is going to get down. For Iowa's going to get downfield. The linebackers for Maryland have to step up in these gaps, or it's going to be a long day.
1st and 10 Terps from their own 25. C.J. Brown. Zone read will keep it himself. Picks up a few. Josie Jewell with the tackle. C.J. Brown leads the Terps in rushing and passing. The goal every Saturday would be to get to 200 through the air and 100 on the ground. But he has been oft injured over the course of his career, now in his 6th season. Coming back from a left wrist sprain. And he will have a splint on that left arm to try and help him out today. To the air, the first pass caught by Diggs, sheds a couple of tacklers. The junior from Gaithersburg, Maryland, a deep threat helmet comes off, so he will have to come off the field for a play unless they wanted to burn a timeout. Probably too early for that.
You see Diggs is out wide on this play. He usually plays in the slot. They're going to move him around a little bit, get him out wide, give him a chance to deal with just the corner. When you're in the slot, you have to realize where the linebacker, the safety, and the corner is. When you're out wide, you just have to deal with the corner, which he can handle.
They want to see if they could get him lined up with those linebackers or safeties as opposed to the corners. They want to win the perimeter with run plays like this today, according to offensive coordinator Mike Loxley. And that's Brandon Ross, the junior from Newark, Delaware, picking up 9.
We talked to Diggs yesterday, talked about the receivers becoming more complete blockers. And when you can do this, when you can block and run routes and catch the ball, this makes you more complete. You can see these guys holding blocks out there. Pretty impressive, allowing the running back to spring this run.
PJ Gallo, the tight end, moving around in the backfield. They're going to throw the receiver screen. This is Diggs trying to make a play. Wrapped up by Quentin Alston. John Loudermilk also over to help, a pickup of 7.
When you watch film of Maryland, half of Diggs' catches are on the screen. So if you're Iowa, you want to play close, you want to get in his face to have a guy in position to shut down the receiver screen, make him do something else, because they're really good at getting the ball in his hands, and then he just makes guys miss.
Good all-purpose guys, also a deep threat, 77-yard touchdown for Diggs against West Virginia. And the carry is Brandon Ross. This is something that Iowa and Mike Locksley want to establish today. They do not have a running back yet in a game this year that's been over 100 yards, and particularly with the injury to second quarterback Caleb Rowe, they're going to need to keep Brown healthy and watch his carries today.
Yeah, and running between the tackles is not where they're going to make their head. They need to stay wide. They need to go on the edges, look for more sweeps than runs downhill in between the tackles.
Brown out of the gun. Off the fake, takes a hit as he throws downfield for Leak, who dropped it at the 7. His quarterback took a big hit and laid it right on the hands of Marcus Leak, who couldn't bring it in.
And of course, this is a play that just has to be made. When you look at these receivers collectively, including Leak, Long, and Diggs, I mean, those guys are probably the best 3 collectively in the country. They have to make these plays. C.J. Brown stood in the pocket, took the big hit from Ottenmeyer, gets one out, puts it on the money. That's a play that has to be made.
Brown feeling the heat, and down he goes. Drew Ott, who had the interception earlier, now gets the takedown. Defensive coordinator Phil Parker says this is the strength of this defense. Those 4 guys up front making their presence felt early here.
Yeah, and they added the 5th in this situation. They brought the blitz off the top of the screen. If you can't cover back in the secondary, we talked about these receivers, you have to get after C.J. Brown. Do not let him get the ball out. We just saw the throw on 2nd down on the money. When you let him get it out, he's pretty good. That time they bring the pressure, get him on his back.
And back deep is McCarron. He'll let that go over his head, and it will bound into. And Damon Bullock, who's been out the last couple of games, limited carries, is back out there to run it. We'll see a host of different guys in the backfield, and Bullock is wide open at the 40. And he will take it deep into Maryland territory, finally wrapped up inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. 53 yards to Bullock out of the backfield.
Just a mix-up in coverage, and again, it's the linebackers that are supposed to cover the back out of the backfield. We've seen this is the 3rd time today where the linebackers were a little slow getting to where they're supposed to be. And that time, there's just a mix-up between Goree and Ferrand. They're all going to the same side, following the tight ends. Somebody has to cover the back. They just made a mistake in coverage.
Jordan Canzeri now in at tailback. He'll take it off the left side, following the lead of Brandon Sheriff. Another big gainer, and he's got a 1st down inside the 15. Down to the field now, Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Beth, after last week when Jake Rudock led Iowa to 38 first-half points against Indiana, the quarterback debate seemed over. However, expect a healthy dose of C.J. Beathard today. Both quarterbacks know the batting order. It's not a case of Rudock looking over his shoulder, but offensive coordinator Greg Davis told me Beathard adds a run element to the offense, and with Rudock's injuries in the past, he deserves to play and he has to be ready.
They'll try Canzeri again. Hit by Ferrand at the 10, the senior from Green Pond, New Jersey. Well, we had Iowa earlier. We saw C.J. Beathard for a series or 2. He came on to replace Rudock and led them to the win against Pittsburgh with a nice second-half comeback. But
when we did have them, both guys played well.
Yep.
When Beathard came off the sideline, he played well, and then they brought Rudock back in. And the concern is, can he stay hot after coming to the bench and going back? And he did. He played well.
Now Tavon Smith to the near side. They will run it with Canzeri inside the 10. And 3rd down inside the 10-yard line. Bullock with the run up the middle, and down he goes. No gain. Well read there by Yannick Ngakoue. It's 4th down and 5. It has been a suspect kicking game this year for Iowa. They have, on more than one occasion, gone for it on 4th down. In fact, Mark Weissman himself is 6 for 6 on 4th downs. They're usually not this far, though.
Beth, when you're really suspect when you're at your 10-yard line and you don't kick it on a 4th and 5, they must not have any kicker at all right now and zero confidence in this.
Rudock looking for Bullock with the catch down to the 2-yard line, and it's a first down for the Hawkeyes. Down to Kirk.
What appeared, Beth, to be a knee injury. Jordan Canzeri, Russ Haynes, and the medical staff at Iowa examining his left ankle. His shoe is off right now. It looks like they're going to retape him. If something changes on his status, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Paul. A couple of nice catches out of the backfield for Bullock.
Yeah, and Iowa's doing a really nice job of isolating the linebackers in coverage from Maryland and seeing if they can get wide and cover these guys in the flats, and they're not doing a good job so far.
On the boot, touchdown, Henry Krager-Coble. 4th down gamble pays off for Kirk Ferentz. Seven plays. 5. Kane's extra point is good. Mind early, the turnover led to the quick score for Iowa, and then an impressive 80-yard drive as well for the Hawkeyes. And Maryland, who came into this game with one of the better red zone defenses in the country, is now 0 for 2 on stops inside the 20.
They might not like the kicker for field goals, but he has kicked each one of these kickoffs completely out of the end zone. Plenty of leg there, just no accuracy.
Well, and that's taken Stefon Diggs out of making a big play on special teams, where Maryland was hoping they'd have an advantage today with their return game and their kicking game. C.J. Brown will hand it off to Ross. He runs to the boundary side, picks up a couple out to the 28. So far, strong defense from the Huskies, Joey.
Yeah, we talked about the wide receivers from Maryland. Well, this is one way to slow down these wide receivers. Ott drops back for the interception, and then just get pressure on C.J. Brown. Don't allow him to get the ball out, bring the blitz, stay in his face, make him step up in the pocket. Drew Ott with a sack there, an interception early in the game. The D-line has stepped up real early here in this one.
On 2nd and 7, Ross dances to the outside. Ross fighting his way out to the 35, and it looks like the spot will move the chains for Maryland. Louis Trinka-Passat with the stop, and a 7-yard gain for Ross.
Yeah, this Maryland offense, they've got to start moving the chains. You worry about your defense getting worn down. You're undersized on your defensive line, and you keep going versus Iowa, and they're going to run down your throats. You got to give these guys a break, and the way you do that is get first downs on offense.
And Mike Locksley wanted to change the tempo a bit from time to time to try and wear down the Hawkeyes defense. They lined up a little quicker. They give again. This is Jaquil Vay, one of their hybrid guys. Picks up 9. How about an update on Baylor? And I would imagine the first of many updates on that game. The last 2 times those teams have played, the winner has scored over 70 as they get it to Diggs out in the flat for a short gain. John Loudermilk had the coverage. So far, every play, Joey, trying to get their playmakers out into space.
Yeah,
on this drive.
that's the key. They have to go wide. They've run a sweep pretty well here on this drive. And then that's the throw to Diggs. A nice, easy one. Loudermilk to safety over top. Diggs can negotiate that guy and find a soft spot in that zone.
Play action fake. Brown on the rollout, and he's got another first down. We get into Iowa territory to Kenneth Goins, the fullback.
You see C.J. Brown getting a little more comfortable now, having a chance to get the ball out of his hands. Move him around so they can't send the blitz and get the pressure.
Diggs is wide left. Brown will keep. Lots of running room for C.J. Brown inside the 25. Thrown down around the 23-yard line by Greg Mabin. Another good chunk yardage play for the Terps.
Nice blocking up front, and this is a play again where we talk about they have to get to the edges, and that's where C.J. Brown's good. You fake the handoff, come around, set up on the safety, and that's a guy that C.J. Brown is more athletic than, and he can make him miss.
Diggs is to the bottom of your screen, matched up with Desmond King. On 1st and 10, we'll run it with Vay. Nice spin to the outside. Jaquil Vay, touchdown Terrapins. Iowa thought they had him in the backfield and he scooted away. Seven plays, 75 yards, a quick score, and the extra point is good from Brad Craddock whenever you need it. Jonathan Parker is back deep. It will not reach him. Craig Coble, who has a touchdown catch today, is the up man who brings it out across the 45 to the studio for an update. Good one in the Big 12, all even, and here Iowa up a score and in very good field position, which has Joey questioning that kickoff that went short as opposed to deep. Jonathan Parker on the run, and he's wrapped up and thrown down at the 41-yard line, down to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, field level, big discrepancy between Iowa's offensive line and Maryland's D-line from a size standpoint. It's a tale of two sidelines as well. Iowa's unit confident they could blow Maryland's undersized D-line off the ball. Maryland's D-line coach Chad Wilt preaching movement, movement, and more movement. Told his group, don't let these big guys get a reach on you.
Loss of 5 on that play. Andre Monroe getting into the backfield. Rudock stepping up. Taken down at the 41. Monroe led the charge. Bowers had a hand on the jersey that slowed down the quarterback, Rudock.
I think the key was the stop on first down, getting them off track a little bit, getting them behind schedule, sets up the 2nd and long, and now Iowa has to stand in the pocket with Rudock and do something that they're not necessarily comfortable doing, and you can see the Maryland, they've just picked it up, and they get after the quarterback, stopping them. Now, if they can get off the field on this 3rd and long, all the momentum will be back with Maryland, even though they're still down 7.
Empty back across midfield, and he will come up short.
And I think the game plan is clear for Iowa in their passing game. Try to isolate these linebackers in coverage. This is another throw to the running back, and that's for Rand in coverage. You can see he gives up some yards, but because it's a 3rd and long, it's okay. But it is very clear that Iowa's going to attack the linebackers for Maryland.
Jesse Bonham, one of the backup linebackers, was on in that play, and now the dangerous Will Likely back to receive the punt at his own 10-yard line, and he will fair catch it at the 14. Of course, everybody getting ready for the game of the day on Saturday Night Football. 5th-ranked Notre Dame, number 2 Florida State. The matchup of unbeatens down in Tallahassee tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Who's in for the college football playoff? How about the quarterbacks, Golson and Winston, 35-1 as starters over the last few years?
Yeah, I think it's the records that draw your eyes right now. There's only one loss between these guys. Both guys, Golson out last year, James Winston dealing with a lot of the off-field stuff. Who plays better tonight? It's at Tallahassee. I expect Florida State to win.
1st and 10 for the Terps, scored on their last possession. Brown will keep it. out to the 25, down to Paul.
Well, Beth, before this Iowa defense took the field, Coach Kirk Ferentz ripped the D-line. He said, finish C.J. Brown on those option draws. He said, make sure that we're closing gaps and finish him. He was fired up.
Well, Brown has been able to run the ball well. They've been able to get their playmakers to the edge so far. Play action on 2nd and 1. Brown tucks and goes, gets out across the 30, out of bounds at the 34, and another first down.
Pretty good
11
coverage
yards
on
that game.
And pretty good coverage on the back end. And this is what you deal with when you have an athletic quarterback like C.J. Brown. When he looks downfield here, there's just nowhere to go with this ball. And then he just has the athleticism. Can he outrun the linebacker to the edge? And of course, C.J. Brown wins that battle versus Meyer and gets a first down.
Nate Meyer will limp over to the sideline. Mike Hardy would be the replacement to come in. Brown, by the way, now 5 carries for 43 yards rushing. How about that? Nearly 9 yards per play for the Terps. Good chunks. Brown will improvise again, shoved out at the 34-yard line by Drew Ott.
I expect to see defensive coordinator Phil Parker start to send some more blitzes at C.J. Brown. He's starting to get too comfortable. He's standing in the pocket, having a chance to look over the receivers. If he doesn't find anybody, then he still has time to take off running. Expect blitz to be coming. They can't allow him to put out all of his playmaking ability with the run and the pass. They have to shut him down in one of those areas.
Trips right, including Diggs. They'll run it the other way. Ross may have picked up a yard. 3rd and long.
You get Maryland into a 3rd and long in this situation. It allows Iowa to bring defensive backs onto the field, no longer worrying about having a linebacker or a safety line up over Diggs or one of these other receivers. Now they have extra defensive backs to do that job.
Looks like Maryland will let the clock run out here and put the wind at their back for this 2nd quarter. Good one here in College Park, 14-7. Even statistically in that 1st quarter, Iowa taking a turnover and taking advantage. Maryland had a drop touchdown pass. And now it's Brown wrapped up. 4th down coming. Drew Ott got him.
Pretty good coverage on the back end here. You can see the chess game. They bring in King, the corner, to cover up Diggs here in the middle. And then once they do that, you run the play. And once C.J. Brown starts to get a little pressure, if you freeze, there's just nowhere to go with this football. All his receivers are covered, nowhere to go. If you cover on the back end, then you bottle up C.J. Brown and you can't make a play.
Nathan Renfro boots it away. Riley McCarron on the run. He'll have a go at it from his own 23. Wrapped up around the 33-yard line, along with the fullback, John Kenny. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Ngakwe with the tackle. Linebacker on the outside coming up to make the play.
And that's a linebacker will be on the outside. They want to go right between the tackles. You know, when you bring in Daniels, you know, you expect Iowa to maybe go a little bit wider. He's a little quicker than Kanzeri. He's quicker than Weissman, so that gives him ability to bounce the ball outside. Your outside linebackers in a 3-4 have to contain.
Rudock stays perfect through the air, finds his tight end across the middle again, out to midfield, and Jake Rudock 7 for 7, but Jake Doozy may have coughed it up at the tail end of the play. A flag flies, players have to be separated. There is a player with his helmet off on the field. Anthony Nixon, did he take the helmet off himself? It's definitely a fumble. The ball is out before Doozy hits the deck. Ngakwe, the linebacker, got him.
And this 15-yard penalty is going to be huge for either team. The ball is on the 45-yard line.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, returning team number 20, removing his helmet in disgust. 15-yard penalty, first down.
The referee, David Whitvode, adding a little extra there at the tail end. It's Anthony Nixon, number 20. He pulled the Iowa player down and then took the helmet off, and he did it right in front of the umpire, James Shaw.
And they go from having the ball on the 45-yard line with a chance already in scoring position, in a position to strike because they have such good athletes from the outside, and now they're backed up, you know, inside the 35-yard line. That is a huge 15-yard penalty, especially when you're behind and you're trying to get something going offensively.
So now each side has turned it over. Maryland has it back. 1st and 10 at the 31, and their trio of receivers, Diggs, Long, and Leak, all in the game. They run the jet sweep to Stefon Diggs, and he gets out close to the 40-yard line.
And this is just another way to get Diggs involved in the game. Bring him on the jet motion, flip him the ball real quick, and then just see if he can get you some yards. So get something positive. Pretty good blocking, but more playmaking ability by Diggs, making guys miss in small spaces.
That was a reception for Diggs. They flip it forward, so it's a pass. Ross breaking tackles, gets inside the Iowa 40. Another big gainer for Maryland as a flag comes down again. Jordan Lomax, the Maryland native, on the tackle.
During the play, holding, offense number 6, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So a penalty right after the takeaway, and now a penalty on a big play, nullifying that for Maryland.
That's another time when these receivers get, start blocking downfield. When you look at the top of your screen, that's long downfield, just grabs a jersey, and that happens at times. King, the corner, tries to spin away from him. And Beth, like I said before, that's why I didn't do a whole lot of blocking downfield. You get into these situations where you hold guys.
Keenan McCardle is their new wide receiver coach here at Maryland, the 17-year NFL veteran. Brown has a man wide open at the 35. It's Diggs with another touch. His 4th reception of the day as he is hurled down after a 27-yard pickup.
Diggs in the slot. They try to get their hands on him up close. If you let Diggs get a free run, if Bauer, the linebacker, can't get a piece of him, give him a free run on Loudermilk, the safety, Diggs is going to win that battle all day long. You see wide open on the sideline.
Exactly what Mike Locksley, the coordinator, wanted. Diggs on a linebacker at the line of scrimmage. They return to trying to run it up the middle to Wes Brown, and that'll give us a chance for a studio update on the Sooners. They got a good one going on out there. Oklahoma 11th in the country. K-State number 14. Brown will keep. Brown gets a nice block inside the 20. Shoved out there by Jordan Lomax. And again, a reminder, the coaching staff holding their breath every time C.J. Brown gets hit, because right before the game it was announced that their second quarterback, Caleb Rowe, is out for the season with an ACL injury.
And I was going to say, in those situations, just step out of bounds. If you're Brown, you're on the sideline, understand the situation, just get out of bounds.
Caught in the backfield, and down he goes. Back at the 24, Nate Meyer, the first guy to arrive, along with Reggie Spearman, and a loss of 5.
I don't think there's any question from the Maryland sideline. They will kick in this situation. We saw Iowa go for one on a 4th and 5 from the 10. The safe call here, if you got a really good field goal kicker, is you absolutely get these points on the board.
Brad Craddock is one of the best. He's hit 17 in a row, a school record. One of those a 57-yarder against Ohio State. This one closer at 41. Craddock's kick, perfect. Iowa right now tied for first place with Minnesota in the West Division in the Big Ten Conference. Trying to fight their way into a Big Ten championship game. The Terps in their first season in the Big Ten Conference coming over from the ACC. The kick is over the head of Parker and through. How about an update from the Big 12 again? Adnan? Thank you, Adnan.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Bob Stoops, so he's the best coach amongst those that are active right now, playing against ranked opponents, which he's doing today against K-State. Good news for the Hawkeyes. Jordan Canzeri has returned to the lineup after a leg injury earlier in the game, and he will get the call going to the short side and out across the 25. Picks up a couple. Darius Kilgo with the tackle. Here's Paul.
Well, Beth, spoke to a bunch of Iowa fans, and they came out in bunches to Maryland, an estimated 10,000 of them. Some even drove the 15 hours for the game. Iowa always travels well, but the idea of a new conference game in D.C. area was a big lure. Sightseeing and some football, not a bad combo.
Yeah, I think Big Ten fans are going to love the addition of road trips to Maryland and to Rutgers. You've got New York, Baltimore, D.C., and right now, the Maryland defense is turning up the heat. Darius Kilgo coming right up the middle. Second sack. Andre Monroe also applying some pressure.
Yeah, and that Sheriff getting beat. You can see the movement by the Maryland defensive line. They've come alive here. These past couple drives, they've come alive, got some pressure on Rudock, getting him out of the pocket, setting up a 3rd and long situation. This is when guys like Monroe, guys like Bowers can pin their ears back and go after Rudock, put some pressure on him without worrying about the quick-hitting tight ends out of the backfield in the flat.
With Bullock, Maryland read it the whole way.
Pretty safe play call by Iowa. Just hand this ball off, see what you can get. If you break one, you do. If not, we'll just punt this ball away and get back on the field and play defense. This is a chance now for Maryland to get great field position. Should get this ball on the plus side of the 50.
Will it be in the hands of one of the top punt return guys in the country, Will Likely? And he will call the fair catch. Momentum and the ball in Iowa territory. C.J. Brown to the air, and the catch is made by Juwan Winfrey, the true freshman from Englewood, New Jersey, and they might be getting some extra yardage at the end of this play. Greg Mabin, I think, got a face mask, and he's the man that's slow to get up, one of their starting corners.
During the play, personal foul, grasping a helmet opening. 13 on defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
There's Mabin.
As Mabin leaves the field, we'll see Fleming coming to the game for Iowa. We'll find out if Maryland will take a shot at him. You know what I mean? If you're Maryland and you have these receivers outside, do you take a shot at Fleming? He's the nickel corner, so it's not like he's a guy that can't play football, but he is fresh to the game. I would go after him.
Looks like it's Winfrey matched up with him. That will be to the bottom of your screen. Who just made that last catch. First and 10, they'll try and get Ross to the edge. Wrapped up out there by the safety, John Loudermilk coming up for run support.
Yeah, nice play by Loudermilk. And if you're the Iowa defense and you start to see the sweep and you just spill this thing wide, you make them go wider. It is the safety's job to come up, come inside out, and make this play.
16 yards rushing in this first half. Diggs is wide right, defended by the new guy, Fleming. They will blitz the linebacker. They will look for Diggs against Fleming in the end zone. Broken up, incomplete.
And give Fleming some credit. I just said, if I'm Maryland, I'm taking a shot at him. They bring Diggs over. They run a post. And he may have been there a little early, but that's pretty good coverage by Fleming. He was right on Diggs. Post route, strong throw. A little bit out of the reach, but Fleming stood up there. Pretty good in coverage.
3rd and 8. Diggs slotted right against a linebacker. Bo Bauer. Bauer will instead come on the blitz. They had Brown and they lost him. CJ on the run. Inside the 10, first down, Terrapins. And another flag down.
During the play, personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 7, defense. Half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
And you saw at the end of this play, well, we'll take another look. Meyer had him in the backfield, couldn't hang on to Brown. And I think they will determine that the helmet got yanked off, so it did not come off by any fault of C.J. Brown, so he will not have to come out of the game. It was Sean Draper who pulled the helmet off, but Brown can stay without having to use a timeout or bring in the backup. 1st and goal, Terps looking for the lead. Brown following the motion man Ross, cuts it back down to the 1. Ball is out. And the head linesman determines that the ball was down at the 1-yard line. Nate Meyer with the stop.
I think it's pretty clear that this ball is going to be down.
The player is ruled down. 2nd out.
I like the play call, get it out wide, get the sweep going. Plenty of blockers in front of Brown. Didn't get a chance to get this into the end zone.
Wow, from that angle, is that ball already coming out of the grasp of C.J. Brown?
The previous play was the runner was down and not a fumble.
It was recovered
further review
by Iowa and Maurice Fleming. Look at the ball spinning right there.
And I think his knee might have been on top of the Iowa defender, maybe not on the ground.
Yep.
Looks like that's Nate Meyer on the bottom, keeping Brown's knee off the ground.
Boy, that looks loose right there. This could be Iowa football at the 2-yard line. Meyer is the guy who wrapped him up. This could be huge for Maryland. They had the turnover deep in their own territory to start the game. They had the drop potential touchdown pass in the first quarter. Call on the field is Brown was down. They would have to find video evidence to overturn it.
There's nothing hitting the ball. It's strange that he would fumble this football with no defender actually touching his upper body, making this ball come loose. He must be trying to transfer it, reach it out, whatever he's doing, but that's why you have to keep that thing tucked in and you know, you don't have to try to reach out every ball and get every ball into the end zone. You sometimes just tuck it, you get tackled at the 1, you line up and run another play.
Rulebook says the ground cannot cause a fumble, and so they are looking in the replay booth as to whether it was already coming loose prior to contact with the ground. John Corus is today's replay official, a couple doors down from us, and here's the ruling.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 2nd down.
Well, all of that for nothing. All of the, I thought the ball was moving. I thought it was pretty clear that it was moving. I thought it was pretty clear that Meyer was on the bottom, keeping his knee off the ground, but clearly they saw it a different way.
2nd and goal, Maryland. They give up the middle. Brown to the goal line and in. Touchdown, Terps. Brown following the block of Goins, and I think they might have to take another look to see if the ball broke the plane when his knee hit the ground. Instead, they'll go ahead with the extra point from Craddock. 17 unanswered points for Maryland to take the lead. Has fizzed out after scoring on its first 2 drives. And that kickoff off of the upright in the end zone. It'll come out to the 25. Brad Craddock showing off for us, the terrific kicker for Maryland. A couple of scoring drives early on. They went up 14-0, but since then, punt, fumble, punt, just 13 total yards in that last drive. Not a pretty one. They actually went in the wrong direction.
And I think the difference has been the Maryland defensive line has been pretty good up front in those last 3 drives, and see if they can continue. Their undersized. They have to move, they have to slant, but they've done a nice job.
The run game, 15 yards total so far for the Hawkeyes. They'll go back to Mark Weissman. Nice cut out across the 30 for Mark. Picks up about 9 yards. Andre Monroe taking him down. Weissman is the senior who has overcome a host of injuries over the course of his career. His story usually, Joey, has been a lot of carries early in the season, gets worn out, and struggles to finish the year. They've had him on a pitch count early in the season. And now let's see if they use Mark Weissman to work a bit more here now that they trail.
Yeah, and they've done a nice job of paying attention to his pitch count, but they've been able to do it because of the depth at running back. They have Bullock, they have Parker, they have Daniels, Kanziri. If you have 5 guys that can play, it's much easier to give a guy like Weissman a break because he's between the tackles. He's going to take a lot of hits. He's going to deliver a lot of hits, so you can give him a break a lot of times with these stable running backs that they have.
They seem to have guys that are specialists in one form or another. Triple team defensively. Monroe and Bowers up front leading the charge to stop Weissman.
That's the key to slowing down this Iowa offense. You take away the between the tackles run, the right off tackle, and you get him in a 2nd and long. And now it's not so clear that they would run Weissman again off tackle. So now you're in a better position defensively to do different things. You just have to make sure that your linebackers can get to the flats and cover these tight ends.
They haven't utilized their receivers much. The catches going to the tight ends and to Damon Bullock out of the backfield. Rudock hit as he releases, and that will flutter short of the intended receiver, Tavon Smith. It was Yannick Ngakoue that got in on the quarterback, and Rudock's first incompletion of the day. He's now 7 for 8.
And then Ngakoue he's too athletic for Sheriff, and he's beat him a couple times. You can see here, he just throws a swim move, gets him moving upfield, has the athleticism to come underneath. He's been another guy. I talked about the defensive line and played much better in these last 3 drives. He's one of the athletes that has caused troubles for Rudock standing in the pocket.
Rudock, good protection, will step up and run with it. The nice cutback, and Jake diving forward appears to have the yardage down to the 46-yard line, and that'll move the sticks. 12-yard scamper for Rudock.
Yeah, nice play by Rudock here, recognizing there's just nowhere. Don't take a chance with this football. Sees a crease open, then he just has to be an athlete. Just has to make one guy miss, get around, and get a first down. Nice play, nice athleticism by Rudock.
Kanziri now in at tailback. A couple of tight ends line up to the left. Play action, looking for the tight end. Off the end of the line, it's Jake Doozy. Run out around the 40-yard line. Pick up of 4. Cole Farrand ran him out. How about this matchup coming your way on Monday Night Football? J.J. Watt and the Texans taking on the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Monday at 8:15 on ESPN and on Watch ESPN. No other night is Monday night. Texans and Steelers. Canzeri, nice opening to the left side, bursts into the second level. Canzeri inside the 20. First down, Hawkeyes. 25-yard run by Canzeri.
Yeah, this is what Canzeri adds to the offense. When he comes in and gives Weisman a spell, he cuts better. He's a little quicker. He's a downhill runner. He's a between the tackles runner, but he has the ability to cut. When these offensive linemen get downfield, get their blocks, Canzeri's a guy that has that extra burst to get past guys.
Was there a late flag on that play? And apparently there was. They are bringing it back out to the 44-yard line.
9 yards to go from the 44.
I don't believe the referee made a call to the press box. We're hearing now it was a holding penalty. Second and 9. Rudock tried to set up the screen for Canzeri, couldn't hang on. That's third down.
Trying to set up Canzeri in a man-on-man situation with the linebackers once again. Early in the game, did a really nice job of isolating these linebackers in man-to-man coverage. That's Goree again, late getting there. It's an incomplete pass. They got lucky, but these linebackers are going to have to try to find a way to cover better and slow down the backs out of the backfield and the tight ends getting into the flats.
Third and 9, but this may already be 2-down territory for Iowa with a suspect kicking game. Rudock. Incomplete. Had some time and then ran out of it.
He had some time, but nowhere to go with this football downfield. Nice coverage on the back end by the secondary from Maryland. And Rudock just stood in the pocket. He took as much time as he could, but just nobody came open. Finally had to get rid of it.
98, Connor Cornbrad.
Casey Bonham, one of their backup linebackers, getting some quality minutes today. Third punt of the day for Dylan Kidd. It's Will Likely with the fair catch at the 14-yard line. A costly penalty for Iowa takes away a big play and leads to the punt. Here's Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Beth, it was interesting just to see the communication between Maryland wide receiver coach Keenan McCardell and Stefon Diggs. Diggs told us yesterday that the 17-year NFL vet wide receiver coach McCardell's the best receiver coach he's ever had. And when they talk on the sidelines right now, it's all about his breaks, how he's getting off the line, and they want to try this Iowa defensive backfield over the top.
Thank you, Paul. On first down here from Maryland. Brown will keep, runs it up the middle. He's got a first down out across the 25. How about an update from the Big 12?
Back about 27, 20 low Calls to the 28-yard line. That's enough for the Britons. First down.
K-State going into that, averaging 40 points per game. That's one of 4 top 12 opponents that the Cats will face this year in the Big 12. The snap goes over the head of Brown, struggling to fall on it, and was able to grab it back. It's just a high snap from his buddy Sal Conaboy.
Second down, 19 yards to go from the 19.
Lost 9 on the play, back inside their own 20. Brown finding Diggs out at the 25. That's the 6th catch of the day for Diggs. now up to 59 yards. And what a nice luxury to have a guy like Keenan McCardle now working with you every day in practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Iowa, that's the route you want to see Diggs run. That's the easiest one to catch him. Diggs, you can see, is a more complete receiver this year, understands the game. And I watched these guys in warm-ups. I watched Coach McCardle working with Diggs, warming him up, throwing him balls, talking him through what he wants to see out of him today. And it is such a luxury for a young wide receiver to be able to come to the sidelines and talk to a guy that you know has played the game, and especially a guy that's played it as successfully and as long as Keenan McCardle has.
Iowa will call its first timeout. McCardle, 17 years in the NFL, won a couple of Super Bowls, bringing that experience now to College Park. Terps have scored 17 straight to take the lead here, under 2 minutes to go in the half.
ESPN College Football is brought to you by the Lexus GX. Dare to be spontaneous. And AT&T, mobilizing your world.
So this Iowa defense and Kirk Ferentz looking at a 3rd and 13. The dean of Big Ten coaches, 3 times the Big Ten Coach of the Year, and twice the winners of the Big Ten Conference. Where is Stefon Diggs here on 3rd down? In the slot, and this time it's not a linebacker on him. Iowa has put Desmond King, the corner, on him. Brown looked that way initially, the pump fake, and he'll go. And Brown has the first down, sliding out to midfield, and a flag possibly on the block out there. A 25-yard gain for Brown. Juwann Winfree may be called for the shove in the back right there on Sean Draper.
Run, illegal block in the back, offense number 81. 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
We've highlighted the nice blocks from the receivers, and this one really was unnecessary. After Brown already had picked up 25.
Yeah, and if Winfree just stands there, he doesn't have to touch the corner. Brown sees him coming. Brown sets up the block nicely, recognizing now he trips. But if Winfree just stands there and lets Brown go around him, he doesn't have to block this guy.
First and 10 from the 40. The end around here to Diggs, looking for a couple of blocks in front of him. Puts the shoulder down at the 45. Desmond King with the stop. How about Adnan and what we've got coming up at halftime? We've seen some terrific upsets. Just a handful of undefeated teams remaining. Brown couldn't hang on. Gosh, Joey, if Baylor loses today, you had them oh so close to getting them into your college football playoff.
Yeah, they're not quite, didn't quite get in. Big win last week. They didn't quite get into my top 4, which people were a little upset about. I just don't think that they're that next team, and and I knew that they were going to be in a pretty good fight versus West Virginia, who can put points on the board.
Only 2 of 5 on 3rd downs today. Brown, handoff to the other Brown, Wes Brown, and he is able to dive across midfield to pick up the 1st down.
I think that's Meyer and Bauer unblocked coming off of the edge. This is a play that you just have to make. I mean, you have 2 guys there unblocked when you only need 2 yards. I mean, if you're Phil Parker, you've got to be screaming right now, because that's a play you had guys in the right position.
C.J. Brown with 50 seconds to work with, and Leak couldn't hang on. From the Terp perspective, Leak had that unfortunate drop of what looked like a touchdown back in the 1st quarter. That one would have been a tough one to get down to get.
Yeah, it would have been a tough catch. And I've been in the locker room with McCardle before, and that will count as a drop. When you played at a high level, Any ball that touches your hands like that, regardless of low ball, regardless of how you're running, regardless of where you're at, who's around, if a ball touches your hands like that, we would count that as a drop.
Just like in baseball, if it touches your glove and you can't hang on, should have been an error. Brown avoids the backside rush, fires it deep downfield, overthrows Dion Long. One of the offensive linemen lost a helmet. There is a flag down as well. 37 seconds to go in the half. Dunn may have had one of the Iowa players assist him in dislodging the helmet.
During the play, personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 67, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that was Jaleel Johnson, so Dunn can stay in the game, and they'll get the yardage.
And I think that's the third, maybe even fourth, helmet violation by Iowa, whether it's, you know, with the face mask call. Now we had hands to the face, taking the helmet off. That is 45 yards given up. 45 yards on the road. We talk about how much turnovers affect your ability to win, but these penalties also, especially when you're on the road and giving away first downs, they also count.
Remember, their kicker has already booted a school record 57-yarder. So they're already looking at Craddock if they can keep the football. It was almost picked off.
Well, nice break by Lomax, the safety. Reads this play, and when you first took a look, it looked like the receiver was open. It looked like, I believe that was Winfrey out there, had a chance at this ball, and then Lomax out of nowhere makes a nice break and has a chance to make a play on this. Yeah, he would love to have a chance. And again, that's a drop. Even though it's a defensive back, he put both hands on it, that would be a drop.
And he's a local guy out of DeMatha High School. Diggs is slotted to the left. Brown is looking the other way. And another one that was almost hauled in by an Iowa DB. That time it was Loudermilk, the safety, coming over to help out Maben. Intended for Vay.
And if I'm Coach Locksley in this situation, I talk to C.J. Brown. We have an outstanding kicker in Craddock. We're up by 4 points. We're up by 3 points. We're going into the half. Let's play safe with this football. We can get these points and put points on before we get off the field, but don't take those kind of chances. You're already in field goal range.
Craddock has already hit from 57 this year. If it's from here, it would be a 52-yard attempt, but they've got a down to work with.
With the wind in his favor.
Yep. Brown hit as he releases, and it is intercepted at the 15. Sean Draper, and a costly mistake by C.J. Brown. 22 yards on the return of the pick. The second of the day for the Hawkeye D.
And you expect to see a blitz in this situation. If you're the offense from Maryland, if you're Coach Locksley, you expect Iowa to bring a blitz, because with the blitz, they can knock you out of field goal range. They can force you into a bad situation. They did that. I don't like the play call. It sent the receiver downfield knowing that the blitz is coming. C.J. Brown takes a hit, throws an errant pass. I would like to see something a lot more safe than that, maybe a screen, a quick ball, but nothing downfield when you know the blitz will be coming.
17 seconds to go in the half. Rudock, we're going 5 wide on first down. Rudock headed for the sideline to stop the clock. 10 seconds to go.
Rudock looking downfield, wanted to get the big play here at the end of the half. But still, I mean, a viable option is Bullock underneath the running back, runs a jerk route on the linebacker. I would take my chances. I've seen these linebackers in coverage, you know, all day long and on film. I would take my chances to see if they could catch up to my running backs.
Again, second down. Rudock firing it deep down the middle behind the tight end Jake Doozy running up the seam.
And I'd be surprised to see Iowa do anything crazy here. That's another situation. There's an errant pass by Rudock. If this thing is picked off, you know, there's some running room for the defensive backs. I'd be surprised to see him do anything besides maybe a Hail Mary to make sure that if it is complete, or if it is intercepted, it's back far in the end zone, and that's the end of the half.
Maryland has gone into full prevent mode. They've got 5 guys inside their own 35-yard line. Rudock bobbled and then dropped across the middle at the 40 as time expires by Doozy. Incomplete pass, the ruling. Halftime here at Byrd Stadium, 17 unanswered points for the Terps, so they take the 3-point lead into the locker room on this homecoming Saturday. Here's Paul Carcaterra.
Coach, you're moving the ball. C.J. Brown throws an interception. I see you two communicating. What'd you tell him?
Shouldn't have thrown the ball. You know the situation. We're in field goal range. Don't try to make a play. If it's not there, just throw the ball out of bounds. We got a great kicker. Line up and kick 3 and have a 6-point lead at halftime.
Your defense held Iowa scoreless in the second quarter. What's allowed them to settle down?
Well, everybody's doing their job. You know, the first 2 series, we had guys running all over the place. They weren't doing their job. They just had to settle down, and they do their job, and you got a chance to be successful like we did, but it's a long way to go.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
Rudock, who started out the game 6 for 6, hit on 2 of his 7 passes in the second quarter. The offense sputtered after those 2 early scoring drives. They'll try and get it back on track. Weissman out of the backfield out to the 45-yard line. Looks like he's got enough for a first down. L.A. Goree with the tackle. There is the story for the Iowa offense. Those first 2 drives, one of them with a short field off of the turnover, another one an 80-yard scoring drive. But since then, 20 plays, just 58 yards. Had 1 drive going, but then that was stymied by a penalty. A handoff to the receiver around the end. That's Jonathan Parker, a guy they're trying to turn into their big play man. He had a 60-yard touchdown run against Indiana.
Pretty good start so far. 2 plays, 2 first downs, moving the chains. You talked about those first drives in the first half. When they got moving, they started the game off with a pass play, which you expect Iowa want to run the ball. They come into the second half, start with another pass play, and have success. It throws off the defense of Maryland when you do that. When you give them the switch up and you get success, then they have to account for your ability to run the ball, and it opens up the run game, which is what you do best.
They've been rushing for nearly 200 yards through their first 2 Big Ten wins. Held well under 100 in that first half. Rudock to the air, incomplete. He still does not have a completion to a wide receiver today. They've been all backs and tight ends.
I think they made it very clear, talked about it. They wanted to go after the linebackers in coverage from Maryland. On this last play, Weissman goes to the flat. Goree, the linebacker, does a nice job of covering and makes Rudock look downfield. That's not where they were successful at in the first half. You mentioned no receiver has a catch, which lets you know how good they were with the tight ends and the backs. And if Maryland can shut that down, it's going to be tough for the passing game for Iowa to get going.
Rudock had some trouble with the snap, completes it to his tight end, Ray Hamilton at the 40. Picks up a couple. And it's 3rd down and long. We've talked, Joey, in order for them to go for it on 4th down in games past, they've had to be around the 2 or 3 yard mark on 4th.
But they proved earlier in this game they went for it on 4th and 5 on the 10-yard line. So even if they don't gain a yard, they may think go for it again. But the thinking is you don't have to get all 7, just get a couple, and we feel comfortable going for it.
Blitz coming right up the middle. Rudock hit as he fires. It's incomplete. Sean Davis, the junior out of Washington, D.C., their leading tackler this year, brought the heat.
And I really like the play call. I like this play call by Brian Stewart. It's a 3rd and 7, and you want to get your guys involved. You want to bring your safeties down. You want to put pressure on Rudock. Do not give him a chance to stand in the pocket. Make him throw this ball away. Get out of his hands. Really nice play call and nice execution.
Kornbrath with the punt. And that will take a bounce. Iowa will down it inside the 10. Terps with the lead. And Notre Dame, one of the unbeatens, will go down tonight. The other one will solidify their playoff resume. Down to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Beth, Kirk Ferentz not happy with his big guys up front, his defensive line. He said Maryland is dominating them up front, able to block those big guys up front for Iowa. And when C.J. Brown has time and room in that read option, he's allowed to make those reads, and he's getting space. And when he does get space, they are not tackling up to his expectations.
Well, interesting, Paul, because Maryland struggled with the big guys on the front lines in the Ohio State loss. They thought they'd run into some trouble with the big guys of Iowa as well today on those offensive and defensive lines. One of their adjustments they'll need to make as they move into the Big Ten. Get bigger guys on the lines for Randy Edsall. That's a recruiting priority, he was telling us yesterday. As they have to call a timeout. Randy Edsall now in his 4th season. That first year, boy, was that a struggle. Just 2 wins. They had just about everybody injured at the quarterback position. But then in his 2nd year, more wins. Last year, a winning record and a trip to a bowl game after his tremendous success at Connecticut. And as a player, a former backup quarterback at Syracuse.
When you talk get bigger linemen, especially on the defensive side of the ball, if you're going to deal with some of these running games in the Big Ten, you need those big guys up front. You know, your 2 ends right now are in the 280s. You want to be up near 300 and a 3-4 so you can take up more offensive linemen.
Brown bothered on the throw by Bo Bowers. The lineman was coming at him. Bauer, the redshirt freshman out of West Branch, Iowa. On the punting situation here for Maryland, Riley McCarron will field it at his own 43, and down he goes. 42 yards on the punt, 1 yard on the return. And the big story is the condition of Maryland's quarterback, C.J. Brown. There was no flag on the play. Desmond King has stayed in the game. Iowa's offense back to work. Parker is the motion man, joining Canzeri in the backfield. They'll fake it to him. And it's Canzeri out of the backfield, and he dropped it, incomplete. Wrapped up immediately by Matt Robinson, one of their outside linebackers returning from an injury today, and one of the guys that really sets the tone for this defense.
And you can see the adjustment at halftime for Brian Stewart and his Maryland defense is get their linebackers out wide in pass coverage. That is the 2nd time we've seen Goree on the first drive get out to the flat and cover Weissman. And now we see Robinson get out to the flat. That was the key to the first half. That's where they were hurt. They've made the adjustment. Now let's just see if they can keep it up.
Out of the eye, Canzeri spins to the 46. Cole Farron with the tackle. It's 3rd down.
If you're Maryland and you get on this 3rd down situation, they were pretty good when they made Rudock just drop back in the pocket, take away the run game, take away the play action pass, and just make them go to this 4 wide out set. That's not where Iowa's strength is. This is a time when you send the blitz, you get after him, you make him get the ball out of his hands.
Rudock rolls, incomplete.
And they sent the house. They sent them all. Coach Stewart sent pressure again on that 3rd down. Did it before, got the ball out of his hands quickly. Incomplete pass, does it here, sends every linebacker he has at Rudock, makes him get it out. And now they're 2 for 9 on 3rd down, because when they get in these 3rd and long situations, that's not where they're comfortable, and Maryland sending the blitz when they see it.
What a turnaround for the Terps defense after those first couple of possessions. It's been a completely different story as they have shut down Iowa. The deep punt sends Likely inside his 5 and stays on his feet. Breaking tackles across the 15 and out to the 20-yard line as a penalty flag flies. 52 yards on the punt, and as good as an 18-yard return as you'll find. After likely bobbled it and probably should have let that one go into the end zone.
During the return, illegal block in the back, 30 of the returning team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
A closer look was Likely's knee down anyways. It certainly appeared to be back at the 5-yard line. The penalty goes against the Terps anyways. 6 starts back in 2012. He redshirted last year, and now his first action, and they will let him throw on first down out of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Marcus Lee.
Yeah, you can see the blitz coming again. That's Bauer coming from over the slot, getting after the quarterback. You bring in a new quarterback. Defensively, let's get after him. Let's see if we can rattle him a little bit. Maryland did a nice job keeping Ross in, the running back, to sort of protect his quarterback, giving him a chance to throw. But if I'm Iowa, I keep dialing up these blitzes until this young quarterback proves that he can handle it.
Going for Hills, play action, pass incomplete. Are you surprised at all, Joey, there's not a couple of handoffs here for a new guy in the game, or do they just have that much faith on him throwing here?
I think they believe in him, and a lot of people backed up. Nowadays, the thought process has changed a little bit. Nowadays, guys backed up will want to throw the ball because that's your best chance. You know that the defense is thinking run, so a lot of people go to the pass now. Now they're 0 for 2. Now you get into a situation where it's 3rd and 10. Now you want to be a little more safe with the guy that just came into the game. I would not be surprised to see a screen here, to see something safe just to get the ball out of his hands.
Ross is offset. The blitz coming from the edge. Hills has to throw it out of bounds, out of his end zone. And he appeared to get it across the line of scrimmage, extended out of bounds. We do not see a flag here for intentional grounding.
Actually, a pretty athletic play by Hills, understanding the situation, understanding, I cannot make a mistake in the end zone. Holds on to this ball, and then let me just get outside the pocket so I can throw this ball away.
And saving what could have very easily been a safety if Hills didn't make the heady play right there. The punt from the back of the end zone for Renfro. Desmond King tried to catch it and he lost it. Maryland ball at the 35-yard line. King, the up man in this punting situation, tried to make the catch. Remember, he's the guy that also made the hit on the quarterback, C.J. Brown.
And things change for a return man when the punt is going into the wind. And now at this stage of the game, going this direction, Maryland will be punting into the wind, and you can see this ball is a little short of where King is stationed, because you have to now, as the return man, be able to read the ball and read the effect of the wind on the distance of the ball coming at you.
The muffed punt gets the ball back to Maryland. Diggs. They want to get him another touch. 6 catches for 59 yards in the first half for Stefan, as he's now over 500 yards receiving on the season.
You bring in a young quarterback in these situations, you want to get Diggs involved, you want to get your playmakers involved, something easy, something quick. Get it out of your quarterback's hands. You know the blitz is going to be coming. Let Diggs try to make a play.
Diggs again. This is a forward pass to Diggs. He reverses direction. Knocked out of bounds around the 42-yard line. It'll be a couple of yards short. But first, an update from the studio. Mountaineers, their 3rd top 5 opponent of the season already. And as we come back here to College Park, Stefan Diggs is the guy that got nicked up. The injury issues a factor for the Terps right now with their backup quarterback, Perry Hills, who actually started out the week as the 3rd man in line.
Play of game. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 3rd.
This was the hit that Diggs took at the end of the play. Landed awkwardly on the shoulder. Jordan Lomax was the guy that made the play. Hills. Nice one-handed grab. It will still be short of the first down. It was made by Adetawa. 7-yard pickup.
And you see the blitz coming again, trying to get Hills out of the pocket. And a nice grab here. Nice, put the hand up, bat it back down to yourself. And again, you see these blitzes coming. You know at this stage of the game that Iowa's sending blitzes, especially on third down. Maryland's going to have to prove that they can handle these situations and get one of these first downs, or Iowa's just going to continue to send their linebackers.
Riley McCarron is the deep man. Desmond King, after that last muffed punt, is not halfway back. He is up on the line this time. And McCarron telling all of his teammates to stay away. And Maryland will down it around the 36-yard line. Iowa with the ball back, down 3. 17-14, Maryland in front. They have lost, at least temporarily, their starting quarterback, C.J. Brown. Jake Rudock and the Iowa offense, they scored on their first couple of drives. They have been stymied since. Rudock on the rollout, flag is down, and the pass is incomplete. Going to be a hold.
During the play, holding. Offense number 79. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Here's Paul Carcaterra.
Good news for Maryland fans, Beth. Stephon Diggs looks fine. You saw him get nicked up on that last possession. His shoulder, trainers evaluated and expect him in the lineup when they return to the field. And Shane Cockerell, the redshirt freshman quarterback, was taking snaps, warming up. He's more of a C.J. Brown type quarterback, so they can keep the offense and run that dual threat.
We may see Cockrell. Hills is already on in relief of the injured Brown. 1st and 20 after the penalty. Rudock with the empty set. And the catch is made by Tavon Smith. The first catch of the game for an Iowa wideout and a pickup of 5 yards. Their first 2 drives, 112 yards, but in their last 8 drives, Joey, just 94.
And the big problem is they're getting off schedule on first down. They're not having that success. Iowa's used to running off tackle on first down, gaining 5-6 yards, and then setting up the second and medium, the third and short, and they're not able to do that. And as long as they're doing that, Maryland gets you into this 4 wide out set, Rudock in the backfield. That's when they send their blitzes, and this is where Iowa's not been very good.
Rudock to Doozy. Gets back out across the original line of scrimmage. Cole Farrand with the tackle, 6 more yards in the right direction for the Hawkeyes. They've only managed to run the football today for 71 yards.
And they've blitzed on the last few third downs and done pretty good, getting Rudock to hurry his throw, get it out of his hands. No backs in the backfield. You don't have to worry about that at linebacker, so you can send these blitz, and all you got to do is take care of the tight end.
Rudock, incomplete. Broken up by Farrand at the 46. Intended for Doozy. Well, college football action comes your way tonight on ESPN. It's Tennessee and 3rd-ranked Ole Miss, followed by Stanford and Arizona State. A big one out in the Pac-12. Who's in for the college football playoff? Both those games tonight also are live on Watch ESPN. Dylan Kidd now is back in at punter. They've used 2 different guys today. And a chance here for Will Likely. Eludes a couple of penalty flags and would-be tacklers before he's bumped out of bounds. Going to get another illegal block here, I think, on Maryland and Josh Woods.
During the return, illegal block in the back, returning team number 25. After distance to the goal line, first down.
Here's an update from Adnan. Very good knowledge indeed. That's a good one. Boomer Sooners and K-State. Good news for Maryland as C.J. Brown has returned to the sideline. Stefon Diggs has returned to the game. And the pass is caught by Winfrey out at the 16-yard line, 2nd and short.
And if you're Hills, that's the throw you need right there. You need to get a completion downfield. You had the 3rd down when it is a high ball, but this one's a much better throw, much better catch. That's what you need. Quarterback comes into the game in the 2nd half because of injury. You want to get into a rhythm.
Hills will keep, and the quarterback dashes out across the 25, tackled by Jordan Lomax. 1st down, Maryland.
Nice play call. They've called a lot of passes since Hills has come into this game. Get back to their original offense. This is what C.J. Brown does. It's the spread option, keep the ball. Nice play by Hills. Nice decision by Hills to keep the ball.
This time the give is to Ross. They are close to 200 yards rushing now on the ground. This is a run game that was ranked number 94 in the country coming in. So Mike Loxley and this group doing a nice job moving the ball on the ground. And utilizing everybody. Their running backs, their receivers, their quarterbacks. Again, it's movement from Hayward in the backfield. Hills keeps and delivers to Diggs at the 47. 8th catch of the day. 14 yards on that game.
Nice job by Diggs reaching out, snatching this ball, and then the better part is getting 1 foot down in bounds as he's going out of bounds. I would expect to see Maryland.
Ruling on the previous play was a completed pass. Previous play is under further review.
And I thought it's pretty clear he got a foot down here, but as Maryland gets a little closer to this 50-yard line, I would expect to see eventually them dial up a deep ball. They have not gone deep. They have not gone downfield much in this game. And not just a corner route. They've completed a couple of these, out-breaking routes. I would expect them to see them trying to get Diggs lined up versus one of the safeties, Louder, Milk, or Lomax.
Yep.
And see if they can just hit a deep one. We've seen him try to go deep early in the game to Leak. He dropped it, but he was open. And they have not tried it again. I would expect something as they get closer to 50.
Well, and that time it was Diggs with a safety on him. They talked about sucking those safeties up to help out on the run and then trying to get somebody behind him deep. And we spoke with the coaches yesterday. If there is a group as we get the review here.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. Complete pass. 1st down.
If there is a group that can deal with adversity from injuries, it would certainly be this Maryland team. With all they've been through over the last couple of years, and an even better sign for the Terps, Brown has his helmet back. And a smile from his head coach, Randy Edsall, just a moment ago down there. Hills takes the snap. They set up the screen for Diggs. Breaks a tackle. Stefon Diggs with a blocker downfield, and Diggs will score. .53 yards on the receiver screen, and Marcus Leak, who dropped a touchdown pass earlier, gets one for his buddy with a huge block downfield. Dynamic work from Diggs with the yards after catch. Extra point is good, and it's a 10-point Maryland lead with the backup quarterback leading them downfield.
This is just a perfect play call into a blitz. Corner blitz, you got Diggs coming in behind him, and you get downfield at this juncture right here, and if you freeze the tape here, at this stage, they got a blocker for every defender, and then you get downfield here, and you'll see them pick them off, and you let this thing run, and this is just Diggs downfield. You got Leak going down, another receiver getting a block downfield. Perfect play call versus the corner blitz. When you got a playmaker like Diggs, and you know he understands what to do with this ball in his hands, guys downfield blocking, know that he's this kind of player. You get that kind of block and that kind of play call, you got to get in the end zone.
A season high for Diggs, 9 catches, 130 yards. And the third time for Diggs over 100. "25 straight games for him with a catch in a Maryland uniform, and 9 of them today. And the Terps extend the lead. Off the bounce, loses the ball, comes right back up to him, and Parker's got the sideline with the kicker to beat. He gets out close to midfield.
This is nice blocking here. Sometimes when you fumble the football, it throws off the coverage guys. It makes them converge. They come inside, and then Parker has the ability to bounce this outside. Nice blocking downfield.
Knocked out by Will Likely. Can Iowa rediscover its offense? Right now they are tied for first place with Minnesota in the Big Ten West. But struggling against a new Eastern Conference foe. Eastern Division foe, and Darius Kilgo with the tackle of Kanziri. This is a deep rush defense that has struggled over the course of its last 3 games. Coming back nicely today. They have held Iowa to just 77 yards on the ground. Rudock out of a 2 tight end set, and Kanziri met in the backfield again by Kilgo.
Yeah, they're ready, and Goree was in that tackle also. They're ready for this off-tackle run. This is where Iowa wants to be, is in a 2nd and 4. But give Maryland credit. I mean, they got across the offensive lineman face. The linebacker, Goree, gets in there, more guys than Iowa could block, and again, sets up another one of these 3rd downs. This is absolutely, to me, a 2-down territory for the attitude that Iowa's had. You know, whether they get a couple yards or not, I think they'll go for this one on 4th down.
2 for 10 on 3rd down. They need the 41. Rudock. Catch is made by Martin Manley, and the forward progress will get him the 1st down. First catch for Cavante today, the senior out of Pontiac, Michigan.
Is that the first catch for a wide receiver today? They have not, maybe the second, they have not gone outside whatsoever. And they talked about the matchup of Smith at 6'2" versus Likely at 5'7". You know, and they have not tried to go at that at all today. This time they go outside, but that's an area where I expected to see them try to take advantage of the mismatch in size outside.
Play action off of Weissman, and Rudock runs out of time. Kilgo coming right up the middle.
Just pressure at Rudock. There's only 2 wide receivers out in this route. Both guys were covered, and Kilgo creases the offensive line and gets after Rudock.
By Austin Blythe that time. Weissman and Kenny in the eye. Weissman, nice cut back by Weissman. Inside the 20 with blockers downfield. Looking for the final few steps, and hauled down at the 3-yard line by Will Likely. 1st and goal, Hawkeyes.
Yeah, and how about the understanding of Weissman of the offense? Maryland's done a pretty nice job of stopping the off-tackle run. This time stretches it out, shows enough patience, lets Sheriff get a block for him, cuts it back. Sheriff picks off Goree, the linebacker, and it's the cutback that you don't expect from Weisman. That's not his game. He's usually a straightforward guy going wherever the hole is called. This time he has nice vision, and then the cutback.
Nice block by his fullback, Kenny. Back to Weisman. Second effort and a change of direction. Finds pay dirt.
And again, it's the cutback. Maryland's still doing a pretty nice job at the point of attack, at the hole where they want to run. But now these running backs, now the offensive line realizes that, and now they're utilizing the cutback.
Big response from the Hawkeyes after the Diggs touchdown for Maryland. Second TD run for Weisman today. Extra point is good. 24-23. And the Hawkeyes finally return to the end zone after scoring on their first drive. They suffered through a bit of an offensive malaise, and Weisman has the cure.
Just nice patience here. Nice patience by Weisman. How about that?
Weisman 8 carries for 70 yards. The rest of the team trying to help him out as much as possible. And for Weisman, a rushing touchdown in 10 of his last 11 games. In the final minute of this third quarter, and Diggs, can he make another big play? They've been able to keep it out of his hands on the kick returns, and he'll have a chance here out of his own end zone. Florida State tonight on ABC. One of Joey's favorite stats, the Noles will be putting that 22-game winning streak on the line tonight against the Fighting Irish in that matchup of unbeatens. The winner will have a very nice playoff resume. Whoever survives down in Tallahassee, and a tackle in the backfield, and now the Hawks have a bit of the momentum. Down to Paul. Throws incomplete, trying to bounce it to Dion Long.
And I think that's a coverage misread by the quarterback, by the receiver. Running a hitch into a cover 2 defense is a no-no for any offense anywhere in the country. You do not throw a hitch into a cover 2 corner who is rolled up. That's just a mistake waiting to happen. Now you set up a 3rd and long. Again, I'd expect Maryland to be safe with this football. You don't want to make a huge mistake inside your own 20.
And run option, the pitch to Wes Brown. Takes a hit at the 15. John Loudermilk coming up, and a 2-yard gain will send the punter on. Chance here for Maryland to get some good field position. Nathan Renfro kicking from inside the 5, and it's Riley McCarron at his own 45. And McCarron with the fair catch at the 48-yard line for the Hawkeyes. Let's look at the latest dish, brought to you by the Dish Network. Got a full slate of games today on the ESPN networks. Bo Wallace leading undefeated Ole Miss. Jameis Winston trying to stay perfect as the quarterback at Florida State, and Jalen Strong. That's going to be the big ASU offense against the rough Stanford defense tonight.
Yeah. And who would have thought at the beginning of the season that Bo Wallace would be playing better football at this stage of the season than Jameis Winston. Bo Wallace is leading his Ole Miss team into a couple big wins and into that top 5 across the country because he's been taking care of the ball and finding ways to make plays.
First and 10, Iowa scored on their last possession. They used a lot of Mark Weisman, taken down by L.A. Goree. Who's your player of the year at the midway point, Joey?
Oh my gosh, it is early. I would keep my eye on Dak Prescott.
Yep.
You know, Mississippi State is a team that came in unranked, and they've, you know, we were just having conversations who had the better resume between Ole Miss and Mississippi State, because Ole Miss was in the top 10 and Mississippi State wasn't ranked, and all of a sudden now they're #1 in the country because of the play of Dak Prescott largely.
3 huge wins, top 10 wins for them. Weissman trying to run outside, inside the 45, going to be out about a yard shy as we head to the 4th quarter. Perry Hills has been in at quarterback since, but right now it's Iowa with the ball, and on 3rd down, Rudak's pass is broken up, incomplete. And they will not go for it on 4th down.
And I will watch the fake if I'm Maryland in this situation. I expected Iowa to go for this also in this situation. They've talked about always going for these. If they get down to 4th and 2, they'll go for it. They bring out the punt team, I would watch a fake.
Down by the goal line, but the Hawkeyes could not keep it out of the end zone for the touchback. As we start out the 4th quarter, 24-14, Maryland with the lead. Keep in mind, Jake Rudock, a couple of 4th quarter comebacks last year. He's already got one that he engineered this year against Ball State.
Yeah, and if I'm Maryland, I just now get the ball back, and I'm going to find a way to get the ball in Diggs' hands again. He just showed his big play-making ability. Takes one down the sideline, nice blocking, beautiful play call. Get Hills involved more, and if you're Iowa, get back to what you did on the last drive. Running at the tackle and then cut back. They found a way to get past the defense of Maryland. Maryland did a nice job at the point of attack, and then they started cutting back. They were overplaying the run, just cut it back and go behind the defenders.
It is still Perry Hills in at quarterback. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Hills will keep. He'll pick up a couple. Louis Trinka-Passat with the tackle up front. The injury to C.J. Brown earlier in this half. And that was a play that brought Randy Edsall off the sideline all the way across the field. He wanted Desmond King to be ejected for a targeting violation. There was no penalty flag. There was no late hit flag on that play. On 2nd and 8, a designed run again for Hills. They told us they would not change the way they played their quarterbacks, even with the Rowe injury midweek, and they are still running these guys, even though C.J. Brown has been knocked out today.
Yeah, and it seems like they've gotten more safe now with Hills than they were when he first came into the game. He came in throwing the ball all over the place, and now they've gone back to the run game. In this situation on a 3rd and long, I expect Iowa to send another blitz. They've done it all day long. I expect to see another blitz anytime King has come over and been lined up over Diggs, which he is now. They've sent a blitz behind that, so if you're Maryland, expect a blitz.
Diggs is slotted to the near side with Desmond King on him. Hills looking for a receiver downfield, and he overthrows Vay as he is hit by Trinka-Passat. They got some pressure on the quarterback, and they'll force the punt.
And I think that's where you miss C.J. Brown in these situations. When he gets outside the pocket, I think C.J. Brown would make Hardy in that situation out wide, make him miss, or Trinka-Passat, I'm sorry, make him miss and be able to get a 1st down. Hill's not quite as athletic as C.J. Brown, and you can see he throws this ball away, can't get around the defensive end.
It's McCarron back deep. And this is the 7th punt of the day from Renfro. McCarron on the run with the fair catch. Now see Brown back in at quarterback at some point in the 4th quarter. Rudock's pass through the hands of Tavon Smith. He started out 7 for 7, Joey, and since he's 6 for 19.
Well, the 7 for 7 were to tight ends, they were to backs, they were out in the flat, they were the nice short throws that were nice and easy. Since then, he's been put in situations where it's 3rd and long. He's had to stand in the pocket. That's not the strength of the Iowa offense. And you see they start off, get nothing on this 1st down. Now they're behind schedule, and that's where they've struggled.
Here comes the blitz. The pass away, caught by Smith, out across the 40 to about the 42.
And that's the kind of play they were completing. The quick outs, the balls to the flats. The linebackers were late getting there for Maryland. They've done a much better job in the second half taking that throw away. If you're Iowa, you would try to get something very similar to that throw. Those are the ones you can complete, find your backs out of the backfield, give those guys a chance to try to make a play, because that's where your strength has been in this game.
Likely jumped the route, and it's a pick six for the Terps. Iowa loves Damon Bullock on third down. Will Likely knew that as well, watching a lot of tape all week, and he had Bullock, and he saw that one coming all the way. His second pick six of the season. This one goes for 45 yards. Terps capitalize on the third Iowa turnover, and they're up 10 again with 12. It's the fourth pick of the season for Likely. A couple of them have gone back to the house the other way. Back to a 10-point advantage for Maryland, out to the 25 for Iowa.
Well, Beth, you look at Will Likely, he's 5'7", and talking to defensive coordinator Brian Stewart, they say opponents look at his size, but he is the wrong guy to attack. He is so prepared. He tells scout team wide receivers how to run plays. Preparation paid off on that jump.
They really love him. He's like the coach on the field, even though he's a youngster. And it will remain Rudock at quarterback. We have seen a lot of C.J. Beathard in different games this year for Iowa, but it stays with Jake. Still plenty of time for the Hawkeyes, and not much time for the quarterback right there. To the studio now for an update. Thanks, Adnan. Terps almost had another huge play.
I mean, how good have they been up front? I mean, since those first couple drives in the game, their front has been outstanding, making these kind of plays, and again, setting up these third longs. And Iowa's just not been very good on third down, and getting in a third and long situation. They're 3 of 13, and these are the long ones. These are the ones where Rudock standing in the pocket, 4 wide receivers on the field is not Iowa style.
Rudock against the 3-man rush, has time. This is Bullock, makes one man miss, gets out across the 25, and the punting unit will come back on. Cole Farrand with the tackle. Will Likely, he's got 1 touchdown today. Can he make one here on special teams? Dylan Kidd will punt. And Likely on the run, made the fair catch, and then wisely got out of the way. It was coming up much shorter than he anticipated. Welcome back to ESPN's College Football, presented by 5 Hour Energy. A 10-point lead for Maryland, and their starting quarterback returned. C.J. Brown got knocked out of the game in the third quarter. Perry Hills held down the fort. Now Brown is back. And Brown will take a hit immediately and down at the 34. Here's Paul.
Beth, I was monitoring C.J. Brown most of that third quarter, and I'll be honest, he did not look his fluid self. He looked very stiff when he was throwing the ball around. In other injury news, Brandon Ross, the starting tailback, he looked like he tweaked his right ankle. Trainers took his sock off, retaped him, tried to run around. Not looking good for Brandon Ross. He has ice on that right ankle right now.
His replacement is Wes Brown, the sophomore from Baltimore, offset in the backfield. The quarterback keeps it. And C.J. Brown shoved out of bounds around the 44-yard line.
And that time Wisely goes out of bounds. We talked about it earlier in the game where he took a hit on the sideline that was unnecessary. You got to be smarter when you're a quarterback, and especially a quarterback that likes to run around, a guy that has dealt with some injury issues. When you have the chance to step out of bounds and there's nothing left, get everything you can get and simply step out of bounds, just save your body from getting hit.
17 carries, 94 yards for Brown. It's 3rd and 8. Run it to the short side. Wes Brown to the 41. Very conservative on that 3rd down call. Trinka Passat and Johnson with the tackle.
And I think that might be getting C.J. Brown back into this game. There's man-to-man coverage across the board. And if you're coming in and you say you have collectively the best group of receivers in the Big Ten, then let these guys make a play for you in these situations. You're in the 4th quarter, you're up 10. Give them a chance to make a play versus man-to-man coverage.
Just to get that kick away, and McCarron with the fair catch on his own 15, 45 yards on that punt. The Terrapin defense, well, they gave up the 2 early scores, but they have been stout since. A lot of pressure on Jake Rudock. Make it a long afternoon so far for the Iowa quarterback. Can they continue to bring the heat here in the 4th quarter?
Rudock is a typical pocket passer when he is going to throw the ball. If you make him move, make him get on the run, he's not very good as he's, when he gets outside trying to make these throws. That's not his strength. And Maryland's done a nice job of getting out of the pocket when it's time to throw the ball.
On 1st and 10, the quick hitter to Bullock. They had him lined up with the linebacker, Goree.
And Maryland has gone to a lot more zone in this 2nd half to get these linebackers more in a position to make plays versus the pass game. In the 1st half, they were in man-to-man coverage, and they couldn't keep up with the tight ends. They couldn't keep up with these running backs. Now they're playing a little bit more zone, so all you have to do is tackle the guy that's in your area.
Rudock incomplete, and to make matters worse, I think they're going to get a holding call on Sheriff, trying to protect his quarterback. Third hold against Iowa.
During the play, holding, offense number 63. After this to the goal line, repeat, 2nd down.
They're going to call that actually on Austin Blythe, but
Yeah, that's Sheriff. That's the All-American left tackle. He just gets bull rushed. And this Maryland defensive line can't say enough of how well they've played today. But Sheriff has not been at his best in this game, especially not on that play.
Tavon Smith with the catch back out to the 15. At the 9-minute mark to go here in the 4th.
And Maryland hasn't had the blitz in these situations the last few 3rd downs, because their front 4 has the ability to get after Rudock, and they've done a nice job. And if you can get there with your front 4, leave 7 guys back in coverage on these 3rd and longs, those are tough situations to convert on, and Iowa's struggling.
Rudock hit as he throws. The catch is made by Smith, but they'll be short of the 1st down. Cujo, Virgil, and Ngakwe were coming.
And you just watch these linebackers. They are just way more athletic. You see Cujo Virgil just beating Austin Blythe there across his face and getting after Rudock.
With the fair catch at the 45. 8:37 to go and a 10-point Maryland lead.
It's just not for everyone.
Well, the men are trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 5 years, and the women are the preseason favorites in the conference, their first year in the league. This is Wes Brown, the tailback, given a nice hit on the way before Trinka Passat finally brought him down. They wanted to win the edge. They wanted to win the open spaces today with their speed guys, and so far they've done it, Joey.
They have. They've been better on the run than I even expected them to be. They have found room to make these plays, and now in this fourth quarter, they're back going with the win. So it doesn't take much more yardage than this to get into field goal range for Craddock. So now it puts Iowa in a much tougher situation, dealing with not just Maryland, but also the wind, giving Maryland the advantage.
They've run for over 200 yards and to the air, and the catch made by Editawa, and that'll be good for a first down. 13 yards on that strike from C.J. Brown.
And we talked about all game long, Iowa sending these blitzes and Maryland not dealing with them very well. This is C.J. Brown. He's a veteran quarterback, comes back in this game, sees the blitz coming to his face, and knows exactly what to do with the ball when Bauer comes.
Brown now 10 for 19, 90 yards with a couple of interceptions. He's also run for 94 yards. Pressure coming up the middle, tried to drop it over the top to Goins, incomplete. Quentin Alston, the middle backer, was coming at him.
Again, more of the blitz package. Throwing a screen versus a blitz is a really good play call. This one doesn't work out. The defense recognizes it and it has to throw it over the head of the defensive lineman, but that is a nice play call versus a blitzing team. So if you're Maryland, you're up by 2 scores getting late in the game, just expect more and more blitz from Iowa and just know what to do with it.
Route to Diggs, incomplete. Let's see if they manage this a little differently, Joey, than they did at the end of the first half when they threw the interception when they were in field goal range.
Yeah, and if you play in the slot like Diggs does, he knows where that safety is, and he realizes if he catches this ball, Lomax is just about a step away. So Diggs made a decision that at this juncture of the game in the fourth quarter, 7 minutes left, we're up by 10. I'm going to live to fight another day, and I'll let this one go.
Rolling, throwing deep, and it's caught at the 9-yard line. Editawa, first and goal, Maryland.
Just an outstanding play by C.J. Brown. We just talked about the veteran coming in making plays. Watch him here, understanding, let me get out of the pocket, let me extend the play. His mindset, I think, was to run the ball until he got outside and realized, okay, I have a receiver open. Great job keeping his eyes downfield and finding the receiver cutting across the field. That's a huge play because it keeps the clock running, number one, but then it puts him in scoring position.
Nice block, too, by Kenneth Goins to keep that play alive for Brown. Give him time to find the receiver off the play action. The rollout, he is nailed by Carl Davis and bounces right back up.
Yeah, that'll find out if your neck is feeling better. You take those kind of shots, you'll know for sure how your neck is feeling.
That appeared to be helmet to helmet from Davis on Brown. No flag on the play. Maryland will continue. Brown handles the snap and then dives down to the 5.
I'd expect a nice safe play call in this situation. Maybe something where Brown is rolling out Give him a chance to have the run pass option. 3rd and 5. You really want to just get points on the board in this situation. You'd like to have a touchdown, but you also take this field goal. So don't take any chances like they did at the end of the first half. Call something safe and explain to your quarterback in this situation. Take care of the football. Let's at least get some points out of this drive.
Diggs goes to the right. Brown looking for his back. Wes Brown down to the 1 and stopped there by Alston. 4th and goal.
And I think I might go for this one here, Beth. I think I would go. You're 4th and 1. I give my quarterback a chance to make a play for me. If you don't get it in this situation, there's 5 minutes left. Iowa has to go 99 yards to get to the end zone. They have to score twice in this game. This is a situation where I take my veteran quarterback and say, the ball is in your hands. Go make a play for us.
And Randy Edsall has taken the headset off, and he is in a shouting match right now with the linesmen. And another one of the Maryland administrators was coming over to try and back Randy Edsall off.
Timeout. Maryland.
With 5 minutes to go, Maryland calls a timeout. 4th and goal from the 1.
Beth, you saw Randy Edsall livid right there. The referee called the timeout. What he's saying right now is he didn't call the timeout. So they're losing one in a critical moment here in the 4th quarter. He wants that in the bank, and it's just been burned.
So they were willing then to take a penalty there. Is that the right read on that
well, I didn't
discussion?
See, I was looking for the play clock.
Play clock down?
And I didn't see the play clock. And so they stopped the game and they call a timeout. Maybe Clark knows more. Maybe he's seen him call a timeout or didn't. But
Please correct the scoreboard. Iowa has 3 timeouts. Maryland has 1 timeout left.
Joey, what happened there was he was going to call a timeout, and he feels like he didn't, but was charged regardless.
By any chance, did you see Coach Edsall in that situation?
I did. You know, when a coach is ready to call a timeout, a lot of times they'll run down and get near the official, and it looked like a misread.
Gotcha.
All right, so it's still 4th and goal with the offensive unit out there. They'll get quick to the line. It's Wes Brown diving over the top. Touchdown, Maryland. Second touchdown of the year for Wes Brown as they go for it on 4th down at the 1. Craddock for the extra point. Under 5 minutes to go. 38-21 Maryland. They are on a 38-7 run since early in the 1st quarter.
And I really like the decision to go for this. You hurry up, come to the line of scrimmage, and you can see it gets the defense for Iowa out of place. They don't have a chance to read the strength. They can't find the linebacker. They can't find the tight ends. They don't know where the backs are, so they just have to line up. And you can see that these guys are not in their right places.
Regardless of what happened on the timeout, it doesn't matter for Maryland.
Yeah, it takes the sting away when you get one in the end zone. Edsall's not as mad now about the timeout call, whether Clark's seen the timeout or not. Edsall's he feels a little better now as he has a chance to go up by 17.
They go 9 plays, 54 yards, 3 minutes and 39 seconds. I think probably what happened is the timeout was given before the play clock got down to 1. And that, I think, is what Edsall was upset about. He wanted to wait till they could use every possible second. Morris down there on the sideline. 38-21, and now the Hawkeyes really up against it. Well, celebrating its 10th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. Since 2005, Allstate has contributed more than $3.4 million in scholarship funds. What a turnaround for the Terps. 6.5 minutes into the game, they were down 14-0. And they have come back strong.
And now they're in a passing situation. If you're Iowa, and you have got to find a way to protect your quarterback. You've not done a good job, especially versus linebackers in pass situations. You got to find a way to protect him.
Damon Powell makes the catch. Skitters out to the 40. Powell had a 72-yard touchdown catch against Indiana last week. The Hawkeyes are at 5-1, 2-0 in the West, and trying to stay tied atop the division. That's the first catch today for Powell. On the flat, short yardage pickup.
And that's just thinking, getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands. There are linebackers now lined up over your guards. That's Cujo Virgil. He's more athletic than the guard that's across for him, and that's why they're able to get at the quarterback.
There's Minnesota and Iowa. Minnesota, by the way, right now, under 5 minutes to go. They lead Purdue 39-38. Nice turnaround for the Boilermakers under Daryl Hazel the last few weeks. If the Gophers and the Hawkeyes both falter today, it's pretty much anybody's game in that West. Right now, the East appears to be shaping up as they go for it here for short yardage and get the first down. But the East seems to be steamrolling, Joey, towards that Ohio State-Michigan State game coming up in several weeks' time.
And I think at the beginning of the season, if anybody would ask what the East was going to come down to, everyone would have pointed to that game, and it's going in that direction.
Rudolph off the punt and throws that one away.
Is that Edsel on the catch? Wow.
Andy Edsel with his first reception of the day.
Stretched out for it, too.
He's a former quarterback. He knows how to read that QB. Wow, way upstairs, climbing the ladder. You make a catch like that, you ought to give him back the timeout.
Is that SportsCenter top 10?
That is top 10 moment right there.
Better hands than Joey Galloway.
I won't comment on that.
Powell couldn't hang on. The big matchup of the night coming up in Tallahassee, the unbeaten Fighting Irish and the unbeaten Seminoles going toe-to-toe. I think that's the second top 5 tussle of the season. Comes your way tonight on ABC at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Olsen and Winston. Who's into the college football playoff? Both those teams right around the top 4. We're just a couple of weeks away now from the unveiling of that first top 25 from the playoff selection committee. On third down, Rudock down the middle, caught by Smith at the 30. First down.
The last time we had Iowa versus Ball State, same situation, got in the second half and needed to make some plays and found a way to move the ball downfield. This is a little tougher situation, being down by 17 in the fourth, but we do know that Iowa can move the ball late in the game in these situations.
That was 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes to beat Ball State. And now they've got it first and goal inside the 5. Kittle with the catch.
You see Rudock now is having a chance to stand in the pocket and look downfield. Same thing happened last time. Once you give him a chance to survey your defensive secondary with nobody in his face, he can complete these downfield throws.
Rudock throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, you watch Sheriff on the left side of your field. The bull rush has been when I've watched him on film, it's been the bull rush is where he struggles some, and we've seen it a couple times today when these linebackers in Ngakoue is 250 pounds, and he's going straight at Sheriff's chest and pushing him back to the quarterback. I mean, he's losing 70 pounds to Sheriff. You can see the strength by Ngakoue, but that's an area that Sheriff is going to have to improve as he goes to the next level.
Rudock on the 10th play of the drive, and Martin Manley couldn't hang on, wide open in the corner of the end zone.
It's weird the way he tried to snatch the ball. He turned his hands over and snatch it in front. Once you do that, the ball goes out of your eyesight. It travels over your helmet, out of your eyesight. Flip your hands over and grab it in front of your face.
Looking at his trips right, fires this one into the end zone, and it's caught by Hilliard. Touchdown, Iowa. 4-yard strike, 2:58 to play.
What a throw by Rudock. That thing is a laser. There is nothing that likely he's going to be able to do with that ball. He throws that one on the rope.
On his 43rd pass attempt of the day, Rudock with his second touchdown. And a flag flies on the extra point that was missed by Marshall Kane, but I think they're going to get a Terrapin trying to leap over the top. Sean Davis. Ferentz looking down at those uprights thinking, boy, this kicking game has really been a struggle.
Holding, defense number 93. At the distance, replay the try. Get off the...
It'll be a holding up front. 93 pulled Sheriff out of the way so that Davis could jump over the top.
It's not a good acting job. I mean, that was way too easy to see.
Another chance for Kane. And this time it's good. 11 plays, 75 yards. They only needed 2 minutes to do it. As Rudock rifles one into Hilliard. And now you need the onside kick here to get the ball right back.
This is where you see your receivers on your hands team. They'll be in the second row. The first row is just supposed to block and let the receivers come up and handle this ball, which is as tough as anything in football. This ball is bouncing at you as you have the other guy's only 10 yards away bearing down on you. These are tough situations because if the kicker can hit this ball right and make it pop up in the air, you know, that is a difficult situation to reach your hands up and snatch a ball that is, you know, bouncing around out of the air.
Seen a lot of receivers and DBs lined up. Marshall Kane.
Yeah, these numbers aren't
kicker.
right. Okay, they put another guy over, but the numbers definitely were not right for Maryland.
Marshall Kane to kick off for Iowa.
The high hop, it goes to 10 yards. And did Iowa get it inbounds? Diggs tried to push it out of bounds and he couldn't do it. And it's Jacob Hilliard who just caught the touchdown pass, flying through the air to grab it before it went out of bounds.
And Diggs just misjudges this ball. And I told you, it's hard to grab it. And you could see Diggs, an outstanding receiver, couldn't even smack it out of bounds. I thought he made the right play. He just missed the football, and then outstanding play by Hilliard.
Play was the kick was recovered by the kicking team. The previous play is under further review.
Wow, what a play by Hilliard to grab this ball.
Yeah, I think he just whiffed on it. And then Hilliard trying to keep that foot down in play. Boy, that certainly looks like 1 foot down with possession. The ruling is Iowa ball on the field. And
Yeah,
I think even the second
Iowa ball.
foot was in.
Yeah, very impressive by Hilliard to be able to grab this ball and keep your feet in bounds.
At further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
So now Iowa with a short field to work with here for Rudock. Can they muster another big fourth quarter comeback?
And how tired is your defense if you're Maryland? You're just on the field for a long drive, give up a touchdown, and then you're right back on the field, and your strength today has been your front 4 or 5 guys getting after Rudock, and now they're tired.
11 plays on that last drive for the Maryland defense. Receiver screen to the speedy Powell. Inside the 35 to the 34. Clock continues to move. 16-yard pickup.
Tackled by 21, Sean Davidson, 40, Matt Robinson. First and 10 from the 34.
Spot the ball, and now the clock will start up again. 4-man pressure, and Rudock has to throw it away, and that one does not appear to have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. As it tumbles out of bounds, Powell was in the area.
Intentional grounding, offense number 15. Quarterback was in the pocket and threw the ball away in an area where there was no receiver. Lost the down, spot of the foul. Took it down.
And that's Ngakoue again, the linebacker down low, beating Sheriff. Sheriff is not having his best game today. In this situation, he gets straight to Rudock.
But look at where Damon Powell is. Is that not close enough?
Second and 22.
I think the ball landed behind
the line and went out. Rudock down the middle, nice catch by Doozy, reaching behind his head to get it, and he's got a first down. Clock will stop as they move the sticks. Rudock underneath, Doozy gets to the sideline, pushed out by Robinson. Second down coming up, 2:18 to go. Iowa has all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, and that's the key, is the 3 timeouts. If they can get points on this drive, they will then try another onside kick. But if they don't get it, they're still in a position to stop the clock and get the ball back if they can hold Maryland.
Rudock, Powell's got it. Inside the 15, they'll be about a yard short.
That's a big tackle, really big tackle, because he didn't get a first down. It doesn't stop the clock, keeps it moving. Cujo Berger, the linebacker, makes the stop and keeps the clock moving. So they have to run another play to get their first down to get the clock to stop.
Rudock gets it. He'll hustle to the line.
Down the 11-yard line, first down.
And they're subbing receivers in and out of the game, and that's tough to do with less than 2 minutes to go because the clock starts running.
Cost them some seconds there. Rudock with time. Catch is made by Doozy. Knocked out of bounds at the 5.
And Rudock realizing how much coverage. There's 8 guys back in the end zone. Just take the underneath throw. As long as your tight end gets out of bounds in this situation, this throw is okay. Now it sets up a 3rd and 2 or 3, or a 2nd and 3 or 4, and you're fine. You can continue to run this style. You're close. Just make sure that guys get out of bounds if they don't get a first down.
Matt Robinson is the injured player. Let's take a moment and get you back to the studio. Ferentz is still arguing the throw. Thank you, Adnan. Iowa threatening to make this thing real interesting here with a minute and a half to go. This has been a team of fourth quarter comebacks late last season and again this year. They sit at 5-1 and are trying to get to 3-0 in the Big Ten. The last 2 times that happened, they won the league and they played in a BCS Bowl. Maryland in their first year in the Big Ten, they've already got a win over Indiana, and this one would be even better. Rudock eyeing Bullock out of the backfield, and that one was almost intercepted by Farron.
Yeah, give Farron a lot of credit on this coverage. Talked early in that first half how these linebackers could not keep up. That time Bullock comes out of the backfield, and it's him and Farron. Farron does a nice job because he realizes he has a safety behind him, so he can shoot on this ball, take a chance at it because he has guys behind. Early in the first half, it was all man-to-man coverage. It was just him and Bullock out there on an island. Now that they've gone more zone, these linebackers have been much better.
Rudock throws that one out of the end zone on his 50th pass attempt of the afternoon, and now it's 4th down.
And I kick a field goal here. You need 2 scores, you're down 10. At some point in time, you're going to need a field goal. I would take one now, get that score out of the way, and then see if I can get another onside kick.
Yep, Ferentz is going to agree with you and get the 3. That's probably the right decision here because you're going to need the points regardless. So Kane will come on. And you'd rather try for the 3 here where it's a much shorter field than if you have to count on a long 3 later. Kane from 24 yards out, and he's got it. So 1:19 to go. Iowa down 7. They have 3 timeouts remaining. Chipping away late in this 4th quarter at the Maryland lead. And now Randy Edsall and this offensive bunch needs a 1st down, at least, if they can get the football. I was thinking about another onside kick here. Here's the significance for Iowa. Minnesota has won. They beat Purdue, so they're to 3-0. Those 2 still have to face off on November 8th.
And I think that's the best part of these conference races, when you have teams that control their own destiny and they still have to play one another later on in the season. That's what makes this exciting.
And on the east side, well, Maryland trying to get to 2-1. Michigan State and Iowa State still out in front there. Well, they've gotten 1 onside recovery. Can they do it twice in a row? They will utilize the same alignment. Kane this time will try and trickle it to himself. It doesn't go far enough, and Maryland recovers anyways.
Yeah, and that play doesn't work. I've seen people try that play a lot. Asking the kicker to kick this ball exactly 10 yards and go get it himself, nobody in front of him. I mean, there was a couple Maryland guys there. I don't know how he would have won that battle anyhow.
PJ Gallo recovers, so now it's up to the Hawkeye defense to try and stop the Terps. If they can pick up a 1st down, they can close it out. Iowa has the 3 timeouts. Wes Brown puts his head down, gets inside the 40, and Iowa will burn its 1st timeout. 1:15 to go. Today's sharp performance presented by Polaris. Stefon Diggs, 9 catches, 130 yards with a touchdown today.
Coming in, Maryland wanted to get the ball on the edges. They wanted to make plays out wide. C.J. Diggs has been a huge part of that with his route running, his catching ability. And then you see here this play, right? The blocking, the speed, the elusiveness. And once he gets in the open field, you know, he's a special guy, and that's why he can get it to the end zone. He's been outstanding today. He's made the big play. He's made the tough catches, and he's kept the chains moving with 1st downs.
2nd and 8. pistol. The quarterback, C.J. Brown, will keep it. He's tripped up, and Iowa will force a third down. They'll use a second timeout. It's back to the studio for an update from the ranks. 3rd and 6 here for Maryland. And Iowa will get the stop. And Iowa will call its final timeout. A punting situation with 1:05 to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that play call a whole lot. I think I want to put the ball in the hands of, I have Wes Brown, my running back, out there. Even if you bring in the jet sweep and let Diggs touch it again, I don't know that C.J. Brown being banged up, going out of the game, coming back, the last 2 plays that are going to define your game, I don't know that I want him running the football in that situation.
Maryland, early in this 4th quarter, led it 38-21. A couple of tallies, the touchdown and the field goal for Iowa. They'll try and secure it here to get the ball back. Hawkeyes bring some pressure, no flag, as the punt sails through the end zone, 80 yards away for Iowa. So Jake Rudock, who is 16 for 26 with 128 yards already in this 4th quarter, Joey, ready to go back to work.
Yeah, you got 59 seconds. You got these big tight ends, 6'4", 6'5". If you're Rudock, try to find these guys. You've got to get a first down every time you get a completion, because it stops the clock and lets you line up again. You're out of timeouts. Realize when you go downfield, you've got to catch it, get down, and hustle your guys back to the line of scrimmage.
Three-man pressure. Maryland will allow the catch underneath. Martin Manley gets out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That cost him 6 seconds. Iowa's out of timeouts.
Yeah, Maryland defense is willing to give up this throw. It doesn't get a first down, so it'll take them at least 2 plays to get a first down, and that works in Maryland's favor.
Rudock underneath again. Martin Manley, he will not get to the sideline, but he will get the first down.
Now, how quickly can you line up? You have receivers that have run downfield, and the more plays you run, you worry about how quickly can they get back to the line of scrimmage and run another play.
Rudock taking his time. That cost him 10 seconds to get that play off. Martin Manley dropped it.
And I think that's a good drop, to be honest with you. I don't know that he was going to get out of bounds. He did not have a first down. That drop doesn't hurt you in this situation.
They went from 47 seconds down to 32 without picking up any yardage.
And the more plays you run, you realize your receivers are not getting subbed out. They're running downfield, running back. They start to run out of gas the more plays you run.
Rudock, incomplete for Powell.
Rudock's
Now it's
pass
3rd
to
and 10.
number 22, David Powell, incomplete.
And this will give the defensive line for Maryland a chance to catch a break also, this incomplete pass. And they've been very good at getting after Rudock on these 3rd and longs. Looking for Ngakwe, the number 7, the defensive end, who's had success for Sheriff, the All-American tackle, to have a chance to just pin his ears back and go again.
Bullock turned to the inside, and down he goes. It's 4th down.
You can't make that play. If you're Rudock, you understand what's going on. You cannot make that play. In these situations, even if you have to go downfield and risk an interception, you can't take a 5-yard gain.
Rudock, incomplete. There were 2 Hawkeyes in the same spot. And the Terrapins apparently will hold on.
There's 5 seconds left in the game, and you're throwing a 4-yard route. That really wasn't going to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. They just simply didn't go downfield with this football. They didn't use their size advantage in the secondary and just try to take some shots. You just have to take shots downfield, even if you don't want to, even if it's a bad situation.
put the pressure on with the fourth quarter comeback, but it appears to be a touchdown short. 5 seconds. C.J. Brown set to take a knee. And the Maryland Terrapins have knocked off Iowa 38-31. Terps to 5-2, and the Hawkeyes drop to 5-2.